Hi, it's Paddy Hirsch at Marketplace. Today I want to talk a little bit about the debt ceiling. A lot of people have been worried about the debt ceiling and saying that they can't really understand why it is that the debt ceiling is giving the economy so many problems. They can't understand why the economy is still frozen up just because a bunch of politicians are arguing about whether or not to raise the debt. Well, when I talk about this, I like to think about a smaller economy than the big economy that we're in. And a good small economy I like to think about is an airport. So here's an airport. Here's its nice little control tower. Here's the runway. And we've got the terminal building here. Here we are. And you know how it is with terminal building. You've got all these people waiting outside in security. These long, long lines of unhappy people. And they're all lining up. But when they're done, once they're through security, and they get into the airport itself, of course, what they do is they start spending money. You know, they start buying their $4 bottles of water or their $10 plates of bad, fake Chinese food, whatever it may be. But they start to pump money into this local economy, this little airport, because all these planes are arriving, all these people want to get on them. As time goes on, they might build another terminal building, and maybe another terminal building. So you have all of these businesses, and in each terminal building, you've got like these little stores being set up, maybe some fashion stores, some perfume stores, whatever it is. But you start to have this little micro economy that's starting to grow. So the airport starts to do very well. But then one day, this enormous storm comes. There's this huge cloud, okay, over the top of the airport. Now the storm's died down, but of course you've got all these planes up in the sky here, and they're all waiting to land. Here they are, all lined up. And the control tower is telling them, yeah, everything's fine down here, everything's calmed down. Yeah, we've got a few problems, but once you get through the cloud, everything will be fine. But the planes are looking at the cloud and thinking, I don't think so. Because we know what it's like, you know, underneath these clouds. They've been in this situation before, and they know that the runway might be all iced up, or there's going to be ice on the wings, or whatever it is. They're going to hit the ground, and it's going to be a disaster. So the last thing they want to do is to land when things are so uncertain. Okay, they can't be certain about the way things are. So they want to wait until the weather gets a little bit better, until conditions improve, and they can trust what the people in the control tower are telling them. And until they do that, of course, they're going to be circling around in the air. There we go, there's our plane up here, circling around. And they're going to be in what we call a holding pattern. That's bad news for the people on the ground here, because down in the airport itself, the fewer aircraft that land, it means the fewer people that are coming through this airport. There's going to be less people to come in to get on planes, less people getting off planes, less people to buy the $4 water, less people to buy the $10 plates of bad Chinese food. Okay, so it means that suddenly the economy is going to start to decline. People are going to start laying people off. Maybe they're going to shutter stores. Okay, maybe they're going to have to do things like cut services. Maybe the amount of air conditioning that goes on in the airport is going to have to be cut. Maybe they'll only run it for 12 hours a day. Maybe there'll be no emergency services on hand at the airport. So you can start to see that the lack of business that's coming to this airport, because fewer of these aircraft are landing because of the bad weather, is going to be bad for this local economy. But it's also bad for these people in the air, okay? Because these guys are up here, they're circling around, but they've only got so much fuel. Now, some of them have been very, very smart. Some companies have loaded up on cash over the last few years so they can last in an economy like this. But a lot of them who are going to be in this holding pattern have not loaded up on cash. They haven't got that much fuel, which means that, yes, they're going to have to make an emergency landing at some point. And when they do that, you know, who knows where it's going to be, in the middle of nowhere. And that's going to leave all the passengers on board here, all the businesses up here, and all the people who are stranded at this airport, all the people who have businesses at this airport that are not doing well, very badly, needing a drink.